Happy birthday, Unprepared Casters! Yay! It has been 1 year since episode 0 and episode 1 of Unprepared Casters launched, and I felt it was my duty as the Lorverlord, huge fan of Unprepared Casters, and just honestly someone who likes making videos, and enjoys showing their appreciation for things by making things. I decided to make a little recap video, going over the last year, dropping some fun facts. I'm gonna go over different arc things and just share some stories that are mostly from me, because that's what I have, but a few from other people, about their year, their experience with Unprepared Casters. So let's get straight into it. And happy birthday, Unprepared Casters. Gus and Haley, we love this project that you started so much. Let's get into it. Let's start with day 0. So, day 0, the day before anything came out, Gus posted a video on TikTok.
Hey friends, just a heads up that I took the link tree out of my bio for the time being. If you still want my spreadsheets and whatnot, it still exists, but it's just not my bio anymore. You might be asking, Gus, what is in your bio now instead of your link tree? I don't know. Go check for yourself. The results may surprise you.
So, that video sparked my attention. I was right on the edge of D&D TikTok, and honestly, I didn't know if I wanted to get into it. I didn't know who Gus was. I didn't know who Haley was. I knew that D&D used dice, and it was made up characters, and it was a story, and that was pretty much what I knew. I didn't even really know that Gus was a D&D person from that video. Like, as you could see, like, he was walking down New York. That was it. Like, he was like, that was it. But that was all I needed. I hopped on over to the link in his profile, and it was the Unprepared Casters Patreon. I joined, and I was the 6th Patreon to join the server. Number 6. And I remember day 0 a little bit. I remember just like the general idea of the messages that were being sent. There was a group of us, we were all really excited. Jenny was interacting a lot day 0, and there were, I think, 2 or 3 of us at about 10 or 11 at night who were like, we should just stay up until midnight and listen to this. We should just stay up and listen to like 3 hours almost of content and then go to bed. And I was like, I do have things to do tomorrow, but I could and I kind of want to, right? And the other person was saying the same thing, and Jenny was just, I wonder if Jenny was a little in shock. Like, I know, I've heard different guests say, and even Haley and Gus say that, like, they were like, we didn't know what to expect, we weren't expecting that sort of thing. So to have people day 0, I think at one point somebody said it was very shocking to have so many people day 0, because there was a handful of us. I think it was even said in the outro for episode 1, where because there were so many patrons at the $15 tier, the warm blanket tier, soft blanket tier, excuse me, they ended up like filming a little thing that evening, just being like, here's our $15 patrons from day 0. Which is really cool. So I didn't end up staying up, but one of the things that I had a thought for that day, and that I actually looked back at messages from that day, and I suggested trying to do some sort of listen party at midnight for the episodes. It didn't end up happening. So I'm looking at my phone, March 29th, so that would be episode 3. Oh, I literally said it in the next line. We had our first listen party. Episode 3. The listen parties have been happening weekly for almost the same amount of time that this podcast has been here. And the listen parties are, in my opinion, one of the best parts of the Patreon. So at first, the listen parties were just me. It was me and my laptop. And for the first few of them, it was literally me muting every sound on my laptop, and being as quiet as I could as I played the episode on speakers. Which wasn't a great way to listen for everybody else. Like, for me, it was fine because it was my speakers, but for everyone else, it wasn't a great way to listen. But that's neither here nor there, because it changed very quickly. Because then we had, I was talking with Gus, and I think Gus suggested using a thing that, like, can do different audio things so that I could, like, play it through, and I found something. And I found one thing that was free, and it was doing fine, and then it didn't work, and it wasn't good, and then I found Loopback, and I got Loopback, and we were doing great with that, and then Gus came to me and was like, hey, Tay, great news, we found a bot that can do this. Cool, wonderful. So they started using the bot. And then the bot broke one day, and I hopped right back in. I went right back to my old routine of, here, I got you, and I played it, that was a lot of fun to do, because it was like, it was a surprise, you know, I wasn't expecting it, and I enjoyed running them on my computer, just be like, I got this, I'm helpful, you know. But it's also great that the bots were there, because there have been some weeks where, like, I haven't been there a lot of weeks. Like, this current semester, I've been there not at all, because I have class at that time. So I'm very thankful that we ended up finding Discord bots to, like, run those, so that, like, somebody didn't have to, like, jury-rig their computer like I did for the first few. I remember seeing this TikTok about wanting to start this adventure, and I, without a second, knew I was going to support this. Thanks to that decision, you two brought together the most amazing community to be a part of, and have truly made one of the greatest podcasts I listened to in a short time. I've been fortunate to say that I have met amazing people to bring the joy of D&D to my life. Thank you for everything, and congrats on making a year. Hopefully many more to come. Magnum Dice Rage. Okay, so I was just looking back to double check numbers, right? And I didn't even realize I started taking lore notes immediately after episode 1. Like, it was like a couple days later, and I went, wait, I want to keep track of numbers. I want to keep track of things. And at first I did it on a spreadsheet. I have the spreadsheet pulled up, and it has two sheets on it. One is called Arc 1 characters, where I have character names, who they're played by, if they cooked their dice, because that was like a big deal in Arc 1. Class, race, age, height, because somebody wanted to know the average height of the party, because it was very interesting. Number of nat 1s, number of nat 20s, times they went unconscious. And then, like I said, I didn't know anything about D&D, so I was like, are they going to level up in the middle? Because I know that that's a thing. Like, they're starting at level 3. Does that mean that they're going to stay level 3? So then I put starting and ending HP, and then I started keeping track in, like, the little notes thing. Anytime that they took hits and that sort of thing. I was doing full-on stats. I was ready for it. The other tab was just called Arc 1, and I literally put down what episode it was, so episode 0, episode 1, talkback 1. I put the length, and then on a little section later, I put what episode and any noteworthy things that were there. So I'm gonna actually, let me see if I can find the one where I have that, like, fairly filled out. Yes. Okay. I'm literally gonna screenshot this and put it on the screen. But you can see, I'll also put the entire spreadsheet in the description, because I do have that open to anyone with a link can view. I'm genuinely so proud of this thing. This particular one stopped for the most part around honestly, I think it was even Arc 2, because that's, I think, yeah, Arc 2 was the last one that I really put anything into, and that's because we started the wiki. I started the wiki. I say we because now it's more than just me. Initially, it was just me. Y'all, I move fast. So it turns out, right? It turns out that the wiki started on March 23rd of last year. The wiki is also almost a year old. I literally went, no, bet. I went as the lore overlord. I'm so proud of myself. Like, look at this. That's insane. For the longest time, it was just me editing the wiki. I don't remember how many pages I did before I got help. It was at least 50. But then I started getting help, and honestly, the pages on that wiki, first off, got significantly better. Second off, skyrocketed in number. We are now, less than a year later, up to 205 pages, which is absolutely insane to me. The first page of this wiki was Arc 1. The 200th page for this wiki was the Arc 7 general page. Oh, I love that. That's perfect. It was not planned, but that's perfect. Apples and cinnamon. Hey Tay, this is a message for the video. Unprepared Casters meant so much to me through this past year. It helped me dive headfirst into D&D, meeting fantastic new friends and learning so much from the show. I'm forever grateful for the community, and especially for the creators. We love you, Gus and Haley. Honestly, I could talk about this podcast for hours, and I have talked about this podcast for hours. But the biggest thing that I can say is just this podcast has not only given me the inspiration to start playing D&D, to go to, I went to Gen Con because of this podcast, because people, like Grace, who I met through this podcast, introduced me to Mads, who I met at Gen Con and is now one of my best friends. Like, this podcast is honestly the reason, ultimately, when it comes down to it, the reason that I started streaming when I did, because I was a little nervous about it, and I wanted to try it out, and I tried it out, right? And then this podcast, like, I got so much support from the cast, from the fandom, from everyone, that I hit affiliate real fast, and I kept going, and the support that everybody has for everybody's projects in this fandom, this is one of the most welcoming communities that I've ever been a part of. And I think it's a lot in part to the vibe that Gus and Haley bring in, because they're here for the silly and goofs, but also it's clear. They don't even have to, like, necessarily say it straight out. It's very clear in the way that they talk about the community, in the way that they talk about the podcast and each other and their friends and all of that stuff, that, like, they're more than happy for the silly and goofs. But if someone is gonna start being mean or something, they're not gonna tolerate it. Like, there's gonna be a zero tolerance, like, for anything, and that's been made very clear, even if those specific words have never been said. And so it then brings people who also agree with that, who are like, cool, I'm here for the silly goofs, but also be respectful, you know, not hurt anyone, like, that sort of thing. And I think it's really amazing, because even starting off, even, like, way back in Arc 1, like, when people really started getting on, they were like, cool, we need people that people can go to, we need mods, essentially. And Jenny and Owen became mods, and it was like, if there's problems, you know we can DM someone we can DM to be like, hey, there's this problem. Which is really cool. I've never had to use it. I hope I never have to. I don't think I'll ever have to. Honestly, that's the thing, is it's there, that safety measure's in place, and I don't think I'll ever have to use the safety measure, which just is a testament to the community that's been created, that, like, I'm just like, yeah, no, I know it's there, I'm aware that it's a thing, but genuinely I don't think it's ever gonna be something that I need. Like, this community supports everyone in everything.
Hi Gus, hi Haley, this is Kat here. Congratulations on your podcast baby's first birthday. Thank you guys, and all guests of course, for this amazing little project you've built up over the last year. Thank you for starting this wonderful community, for inviting us to your table, and for taking us along on this little journey with you. This podcast has a very special place in my heart and the hearts of so many people, and I cannot wait for what is yet to come. Let's go then into another year full of exciting adventures and funny names and love joys and monologues that make me cry into my biscuits. See you then.
Oh my gosh, I almost forgot my favorite part about things that happen in Arc 1. So in episode 0, was it episode 0? Yeah, in episode 0 when Haley and Gus were talking about the different tiers and they were like listing them, the $2 tier. Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. Hold on. I'm pulling up Patreon. We're looking at this tiers because I remember the ones that like I need to remember, and I could remember them in random orders and different orders. But okay, so $2 Snickers bar, $5 pound of ground beef, $10 5 gallons of gas in a rural area, 15 a soft blanket, and then now there's a $25 tier. This is the 3 burritos, but at the time it was just went up to 15. And in episode 0, Gus and Haley made the mistake of saying it's like you could wrap us up in a warm blanket every month. And being the little shits that we are in the most loving way possible, a group of us went, but what if we did?
Gus and Haley. That's us.
Yeah.
A group of us got together. We are, in fact, quite funny in our own opinions and decided to take something y'all said in episode 0 quite literally. Before opening the package, which I don't have the package yet, I'm getting the package in a couple days.
So it is before.
Please open and read the small note to see who all is involved. We all absolutely love y'all and can't wait to see where this podcast goes. From fans of Unprepared Casters. It's a little envelope that says contributors. Adorable. Who did you all get? I think I know somebody you got. Because on one of my very favorite fan arts, Tay was in the comments saying, do you want to work on a secret project? Discord.
Oh.
Suddenly
Haley,
some things.
you sleuth.
Contributors. Oh my god. Look at the
What?
link.
Whoa! Holy crap!
Open mail. Do you see how
Yeah, I'd
big it
love
is?
to. Huh?
It's big.
What does it feel like?
Squishy.
Do you have
Whatever.
any... Tay was asking in the voice chat earlier if we had any guesses. I said no.
Squishy. I'm gonna open it though, okay?
Okay, it's happening. We're right here. No build up. All right, it's happening.
Wait. I have just a reminder. This is how many people worked on it.
So many people evidently worked on it. Grace apparently just moral support, but I guess that still counts.
I count Grace. There are 2 separate packages in it. Sorry how it's violent while I'm doing this. I'm bad at opening. That's soft. What is it? Ah! Look at it.
Did I guess blanket? Is it a blanket?
It's a blanket.
We can pull up the tape. I fully guessed blanket.
Look
Oh my god! Look at Mortis!
Mortis or an Amara are in there. Stavius giving Deb a piggyback ride. Oh, God. It's Van!
Is that Van?
There's everybody's stick figures. Like they're little figures on the back of a car. Like the family.
They're all in a little SUV together.
Is that not the vibe though? Pax.
Right, I'm in your life.
Pax. Pax.
Please shit. Oh my god.
Pax, you knew about this, right?
I knew. Tay explained it to me once during one of my lives.
I think that's the Rose and Thorn.
Yeah.
I would assume.
And like I remembered like the details of the project, but I didn't know like what any of the artwork.
Hell yeah.
Good. Oh my god.
There is Sir Mr. Person Thaddeus ship art on here.
Oh
Good news.
yes, love that.
Good. Fun. Thank God. Oh my God. I was about to get worried.
Sir Mr. Person stabbing Mortis, Big Mortis, or an Amara.
Yes. Good.
Deb, wait.
Oh, that's Benny's. That's Benny's Deb
That's
at the bottom.
fully like, hey, that's very close to like the Deb that lives in my brain. So like,
Hot Deb.
Kyle.
Kyle!
Oh my God. The piggyback ride.
It's so good.
I'm in love with Scavenging.
As you should.
Um.
It's just so good. Big
Oh
Mortis.
my god. I'm so happy. For me?
They've all. I'm going to forever.
It's very good.
I think.
It's simply so good.
Yeah, just basket.
Just basket.
Basket.
Basket. An integral character in Dragons and Dungeons.
Hey Gus and Haley. I just wanted to give you guys my thanks from all the way over in Australia. Episode listens have been the best part of my week this year, even if it sometimes means staying up till well past 1 a.m. to watch them. You guys have inspired me to be a better DM, and I can't wait to see what the next year brings. Alexavier. So, Gus and Haley, if you're watching this, thank you. You guys are really amazing, and the time and effort that you put into this is so evident, as well as the love. I personally am so grateful for this podcast, and just the stories it's told, the characters we've gotten to meet, the players we've gotten to meet. I have gotten to interact with several of them outside of podcast. I've gotten to play D&D with Abby, which, like, I don't know if I would have run into her had it not been for this podcast. So it just... This podcast has been so amazing. I've gotten to meet some amazing friends because of this podcast. I've gotten to play D&D with some amazing people because this podcast was the introduction to me to D&D. I was saying on stream the other day, because I did a D&D stream for my birthday, and I was saying on stream, I was like, you know, I'm playing fast and loose for the rules, because I don't know a lot of them. The majority of the rules that I know come from Unprepared Casters. That got a nice laugh out of everyone, because at the very least, everyone knows of Unprepared Casters that was on there, whether or not they've listened to any of it, all of it, whatever. So it was it was a lot of fun to just be like, yeah, that's where most of my knowledge of D&D comes from. Because in Arc 1, y'all did pretty good about being like, yeah, we're doing this because this is what the rules say. And even throughout the arcs, as you've, like, changed the rules, you've said them a lot, but, like, there's been some times where it's been like, yeah, I do this, and it's like, cool, do this for me. And I was like, I don't know why. But in this situation, you do this, apparently. So, like, during that live stream, there was one point where I was like, give me an insight check. I was like, I don't know what check to use. And I was like, how has this been used on Unprepared Casters? Like, genuinely, that was going through my brain. It was like, how have Gus and Haley used this check before? They used it in this situation. Can that relate to this situation? Sure, close enough. Insight. Like, it was wonderful. It's so good. Yeah, I've said it so many times, even just in this video. I love this podcast with my whole heart. I'm the lore overlord. I love taking notes. I love exploring the lore. Also, Bree gave me that name. Like, absolutely love Bree for that. Bree was just like, yeah, what if you're the lore overlord? And I was like, yes, done, sold. That's my title. This podcast means a lot to me if it's not clear by the fact that I made this video in general. So happy 1 year to this podcast, and thank you so much for everything you have done for the podcast and everything to come. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Honestly, my Patreon, I have, like, importance of, like, bills and stuff. I have, like, my bills, house bills, like, necessary bills. Unprepared caster. Everything else. Like, Unprepared Casters is my top priority for fun things. Because I love it so much. It means that much to me, and I cannot wait to see where this podcast goes. I genuinely, I can't wait for a year from now. We'll see if I do another video. I'm gonna try to, I think. As of right now, I'm going to, but, like, that's a full year away, bestie. But I cannot wait to see where this podcast goes, to see where it takes off, honestly. So, thank you so much. And I hope you have an amazing next year, an amazing day for the 1 year. I don't feel it's pretentious to say I speak for the fandom when we say thank you so much and we love you guys. You are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for everybody watching this video. If you are curious on Unprepared Caster stuff, that is in the description at the very top. It is going at the top there. Patreon link. I put the link to the Spotify. Just all of that is right there at the top. I put Gus and Haley's socials all right there at the top. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!